a lot of you might not know, but I'm actually Canadian. And today we're celebrating Canada Day. Okay. So instead of the standard DisneyBound video where we talk about fashion and Disney, I actually asked a lot of you to send in your questions that you've always wanted to ask a Canadian. So today we're going to go through those, and you're going to get to see some of the weird questions that as a Canadian, I get asked by Americans on a daily basis. Disclaimer, I'm probably the most disappointing Canadian. I live an hour away from the American border. I live in a city. I don't live in the country. I don't own a moose, a beaver, an igloo. I don't like beer. I don't like hockey. I just tried maple syrup for the first time like 2 years ago. I'm really disappointing. So the first question, which was sent in to me from all of the internets, what is the weirdest thing an American has ever asked you about Canada? Well, to start off, I'm going to show you a map of where I live. I live in Toronto, Canada. And if you can see, off to the side there is Maine. Anybody that lives above this line, you live further north than me in America. So there's not really that like line where all of a sudden it's frozen. I was actually going to Disney World. I had a guy from Maine say, "Oh, you're from Canada. Well, you must really be loving the weather down here." And it was July. I was like, well, I mean, it's not much different than this right now. He was like, what? It's not freezing cold? And I was like, you're from Maine. And his wife looked at him and she was like, have you ever looked at a map? Next question. Okay. Is it true that someone stole 1/3 of the maple syrup from the nation's reserve? And if so, why does Canada have a maple syrup reserve? What? Is that a thing? Can you look it up on your phone? Do you have your phone?
Is there a maple syrup
Is there
reserve?
a maple syrup reserve?
We should Google it.
We need to Google this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a maple syrup reserve.
That would be the most Canadian thing ever.
I don't think so. Like farmer, you can just have like a tree in your backyard and make syrup.
With the Canadian Mint? Oh my gosh.
Is there one?
There is!
We have a maple syrup reserve.
Unless,
Did somebody...
Wait. Is the Atlantic a joke place?
The Atlantic?
Is it like a satire?
The Atlantic, I don't know.
.com.
Okay, that could be a lie. So let's confirm, no, we don't have a maple syrup reserve. What's with those milk bags? How do you keep them sealed? Do you cut them open or are they Ziploc? How do you pour them when they squish and slosh around? Why bags? Okay, so I get this question a lot about how Canadians drink milk, and I didn't realize what a mind-boggling question it was until I got asked about it over and over and over again. So these milk bags that people ask about, when we go to the grocery store, you can buy this. And inside of this are bags of milk. And the question is, what do you do with it once you have this bag of milk? And we don't just like cut it open and pour it out. We buy milk containers, put the milk in the milk container. It makes so much sense. And then somebody has made $1 million something on developing this little tool, which opens the milk. Oh my God, I haven't done this for years. Opens the milk. Oh, excellent. And then you pour the milk. And that's how Canadians drink milk. Do moose just run wild everywhere? Well, I have never seen a moose, ever. So it depends on where you live. I personally have never seen a moose out in the wild. I actually went to the Toronto Zoo, went to a zoo with the goal of seeing a moose. And all they had was like a baby moose, and that was disappointing. It's just kind of like an awkward teenage deer. So I've never actually seen a moose. Ever.
But they're awesome.
I had a dream last night about a moose. Like I got so excited, it was the size of an elephant. I like dream about seeing moose. Dream about seeing mooses. I've never seen a beaver.
No! You're the worst Canadian ever.
Is it true you all love maple syrup and pancakes? Well, I just tried maple syrup about a year ago, and I like it now. But I like your pancake syrup better, America. It's sweet. There's no flavor. It's great. If you could have one thing from America and Canada permanently, what would it be? It can't be In-N-Out. Next question then. In-N-Out is what I would actually move to Canada permanently. What is the strangest or weirdest difference between Canada and America? Like, what boggles your mind about how we do things down here? Well, you guys aren't very different from us. Like, there's not like a big wall that separates us. It pretty much, it's the same. I mean, it depends. Not yet. Fingers crossed. We get the same TV. We get American TV. We're pretty much the same country, except for maybe your gun control laws. Moving on. What is the strangest thing you've seen while in a boot? Do you really say A and a boot? Okay, so I'm a very disappointing Canadian, and I've had friends, American friends, for a couple years that didn't hear me say A, and one time we were all staying in a house together, and somebody said something, and I came out of the room, and I was like, I know A, and the look on my friends' faces, they're like, oh, and I was like, what? And they're like, you just said A, and I've been, like, waiting for this moment. Erica said this. She's like, I've been waiting for this moment since we became friends, and this is, like, a really big moment. But I don't say A very often, and a boot, it wasn't until I started to travel to the States, and I could hear my own accent, that I could hear myself saying outfits. Outfits instead of outfits. Lindsay, you come on, and you say about. My friend Lindsay, who's filming right now, her oots are really bad.
Let's cut it. I don't know what you're talking about.
About.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Not that Canadian.
You're more Canadian than
We're
me.
basically New Yorkers.
Do you like Tim Hortons? No.
What?
I know. I'm the worst Canadian. I don't like Tim Hortons. I would pick Starbucks over Tim Hortons every day. Don't kick me out of my country, Canada. Ooh, here's a good one. Do you have a lumberjack assigned to you at birth? Who is your favorite Canadian celebrity? Oh, I have to pick between Drake or Justin Bieber.
Oh my God.
Do I say Justin Bieber? I'm going to say Justin Bieber. Sorry. Okay. Do you like the way Epcot portrayed Canada in the World Showcase? This is a good question. I don't relate to the World Showcase, to the Canadian pavilion in the World Showcase. It doesn't look like my home, although there's many different parts of Canada. It's not just one standard place. So to me, no, it doesn't look like my home. But if you go in the gift shop, that like Canadian gift shop that's got Tim Hortons coffee, and you can buy coffee crisps and I think Smarties and packages of chocolates that are called like Moose Poo. That's all over Canada. We do Moose Track. No, it's called Moose Poo. It's not the Moose Track ice cream. It's like Goose Poo, Moose Poo, and it's like chocolate covered almonds and stuff.
I'm not into that.
We do it though.
That's awful.
It's like all over Ottawa. Okay. If Canada had a Disney park, what about it would be unique? What about it would be unique? I don't know. What about
it would be?
What about it would be unique, eh? Do stores in Canada not sell tank tops because it is super cold there all the time? Or are you guys so used to the cold that you are totally fine with wearing tank tops? We're going to have to go outside to answer this one.
Are you outside in a tank top?
It's crazy. I know. So one of the funniest, is it on? Yeah. So one of the funniest questions that as Canadians we get asked is it snowing there all the time? And must you be freezing all the time? But the truth is that, we are an 8-hour drive away from New York City. And at one point this winter, Boston had snow and we didn't. So there's not like this border where all of a sudden it's freezing cold and we have igloos and dog sleds. It's pretty much exactly what you would think New York City would be like this time of year. Like today, it's actually kind of more chilly today, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Later this week, it's going to be a high of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, it's no 106 or 108 like it is in Las Vegas. So I hope I answered some of the questions that you've always wanted to ask Canadians. And now that you have this information, you too are honorary Canadians. So every July 1st, I hope you're celebrating Canada Day with me, playing hockey, hanging out with Justin Bieber, taking your moose for a walk, playing in your igloo. Happy Canada Day! True maple love.